Are you hearing these horror stories that sellers are taking their houses off the market now because the market is crashing? And we hear that a lot because it's a very good way to scare the public, to scare everybody into a frenzy when it really isn't happening that way. So I'm going to go over a couple of things you're going to see in this article that really do dispel these crazy tactics that people are trying to do to scare you. The headlines that come out and say, oh, the market's crashing, sellers are taking their house off the market. And that's so far from the truth. So I wanted to cover a few things so that you know in this article what is really going on. So a few things that I am going to cover is that, homes are taking a little longer to sell. That's no joke. They are taking longer. In 2022, 2021, they were sold within 2 days, maybe 7 days. But we're no longer in that market. And we weren't at that market even before pandemic, even before the pre-pandemic area. So when the pace slows down, some sellers get frustrated and they decide that they just want to hold off. So that has a lot to do with it, okay? Because typical market is around 30 to 45 days, 60 days on average. But if you were in the market of 2021 to 2023, you were selling your home probably in the first 2 weeks. But that was a unprecedented time when everything was happening and people were just moving to Texas and they were paying more for houses than what they were really worth. So don't get it mistaken. This is not our market today. We are actually back to adjusting. So you will notice that now houses are going to take 3 months, 2 months. Sometimes they can go faster, quicker, whatever, but they're not going to be in 2 weeks or 3 days. So that has a lot to do with it. The number of homes for sale is rising faster than demand. So this means the buyers do have more options. And the sellers who don't prep their home, who don't price it right, will stay on the market longer and they are not going to get as many eyes on the property. So you have to be aware of that. Your house has to look great. It has to be priced right. It has to have excellent marketing so that you can attract the most amount of buyers. And then some sellers, like I said before, are still have this pandemic era price expectation. And when we were looking at houses in 2021, 2022, 2023, houses were going for like 3 to 10% more than what the actual price was. That's not happening anymore. A price that would have worked a couple of years ago may not match what today's buyers are willing to pay. So you have to be aware of that. We are not in pandemic era anymore. And so we are actually adjusting. And so we've actually adjusted down to where it's a reasonable market. So you have to be aware of that because it has a lot to do with pricing right. And then, of course, there's economic uncertainty is making both parties, buyers and sellers, cautious. Buyers pause, sellers second guess, and that has an impact on the overall sales volume and the pace. So if you're looking at these different ways to get into the market and try to sell your home, you have to price it right. You have to price it right and you have to have it prepped. And I help people. I go to their home. I tell them what they need to do, what's important, what are the upgrades that they need to do. And I help them to make good decisions when they're trying to sell. If it is not the right time to sell, I'm going to tell you it's not the right time to sell. But if you have the opportunity to sell, then this is the perfect time to get you in to look at the house, to see if there's anything that can help you sell quicker. Any little upgrades or painting or maybe adjusting furniture, whatever, can help to sell. But we also need to price it right. And we will have some excellent marketing, excellent photos, everything that we can do to make this house pop online. So it's really important that you understand that because a lot of people are hearing all these headlines and getting really nervous about the market crashing. This is far from anything. If you look at the graphs at the bottom, you'll notice it has nothing to do with a market crash. So I hope this topic does come through and resonate with you if you are a seller thinking to sell. Thinking about getting on the market so that you can sell to buy another home or to relocate, whatever the case may be. But there is opportunity out there and you have the right realtor to help you and guide you and be honest and brutally honest, with you to let you know what the market's doing, then you're going to do very, very well on the market. So just pay attention to your realtor and do what they say because it really does resonate when you get on the market and you can sell quickly. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.